Greetings, YouTube. Again, I pardon the fan. It's rather warm here today. And we have some new lighting. So tell me what you think. Too much? Too little? Does it make any improvement? I need to know. Alright, today's article is going to be coming out of South Africa. One Raymond Buys was sent by his mother to the... what was the name of this place? The Echo Wild Game Rangers training course. You see, Raymond's mother was concerned that he was effeminate, that he wasn't a manly man. So, he was sent to this training course to make a man out of him. However, 4 weeks later, Raymond was put in hospital, dehydrated, emaciated, because he had been starved. His arm was broken in 2 places, and his body was covered in wounds and scars. You see, he didn't quite stand up to the manliness that this training course thought he should. And now, the course general, quote-unquote, Alex de Coker, 49, and employee Michael Erasmus, 20, are on trial for charges of murder, child abuse, and neglect, along with 2 cases of assault with intent to do grievous bodily harm in relation to Raymond Buys' death. It was 4 weeks after he was put in hospital, Raymond died. Now the quote here that infuriates me is, "I sent my son on this course to make him a better man, to give him a better future," Buys' mother told the Daily Telegraph. I trusted Alex de Coker with his life. And I don't think this woman sent her son to this camp to make him a better man. She sent him to this camp in the hopes that he would become a heterosexual, because she was concerned that he wasn't. Now, we're never going to know what the sexual orientation of Raymond Buys was. He died at 15. Raymond may have not known what his particular orientation was, what his gender was. No idea. He hadn't figured it out yet, because Western society isn't good at giving people the comfortable zone they need to figure that kind of thing out. So, because of this, he was sent to this training course in hopes that it would turn him into a man, in this very narrow focus that his mother seems to understand of what man is. Man is here. If you are male and you act in a manly manner, this is what it is, right there. And if you step outside that definition, well then, obviously, you're not a man. And that seems to be a bad thing for Mrs. Buys. Of course, the people that ran this particular course. Because unless they can clearly and distinctly define who you are, they aren't comfortable. And I have a problem with that. Because it isn't up to anyone else to decide who and what you are. It is up to you to decide what your gender is. From minute to minute, to hour, to day, it doesn't matter what it is, so long as you are happy. It is up to you to decide what your sexual orientation is. Anywhere on the spectrum is just fine. And if you move from place to place on that spectrum over the course of your life, that is also fine. Once you've defined who you are, if that definition changes, the only person that should be concerned with that is you and those you love. No one else should be concerned about it. Your partners are the only ones that have to be concerned about it. Not your parents, not your friends, not your schoolmates, not the people in your neighborhood, not the society you live in, nobody else. But Mrs. Buys didn't believe that. Mrs. Buys defined man right here. And she did everything she could to make sure her son fit into that definition. And when he didn't quite fit into that square hole that she wanted to shove him into, see, she sent him away to a camp to be forced into that definition. Now, Raymond may have gotten to that definition on his own. But like I said, we're never going to know. That possibility was closed. Ended. Finished. And in Raymond's memory, what we can do is do the same thing for this. We can close it, we can end it, we can finish it. We can stop trying to shove people into pigeonholes for our own comfort. Because that's what Mrs. Vyse did. She didn't do this for her son. She did this for herself. She wanted her son to fit a specific definition, and when he didn't fit that specific definition, she sent him somewhere to be shoved into that definition. And all it did was get him put into a grave. But we can change that. We can fix it. We can alter that. We don't have to tolerate this. We can tell friends and families and neighbors and strangers that who you are and how you define yourself is up to you, no one else. And screw anyone who tells you otherwise. Whether it's your family, your friends, your church, your anybody. Who you are and how you define that is up to you. And I apologize if what's about to happen is going to offend anyone. But if anyone doesn't like that, if anyone gives you crap about that, if anyone tells you differently, guess what? That's what you tell them. Because that's what they deserve. We're never going to know who Raymond was. And that's really sad. I would have liked to have met the guy. Said it's okay. But I can meet a lot of other people. And I can tell them it's okay. I don't ever have to tolerate people like these officers at this training camp. Or Raymond's mother. I can tell them they're wrong. And maybe next time the Raymonds of the world will be okay. They'll be able to go and define who they are from minute to minute, to hour, to day, and be happy. That's a pretty grand idea.